Hi everybody, welcome to part 3 of our mid-season, between seasons, Ask Me Anything long-form interview.
It turns out you people asked a lot of questions.
Yeah, we haven't even...
I'm starting to panic now.
We got to go, this episode, we've hit the Discord. We had a couple of Discord questions at the end of last episode. We're now doing a few more. We're now onto the actual thread made in our Discord for the Ask Me Anything questions. There are a lot of these. We might have to go a bit quicker than we have been for the
I want to
emails.
give every question their due diligence. We just might talk faster through them.
I gotta say, I think if you're sending an email, then you deserve a long response. Discord's too easy. Discord's too easy. We'll give you an easy response. No, here are more questions. These questions look like they might get a little bit more off topic in terms of the stuff that we do, but there are a few that are like very on topic. So we'll see how we go.
Yep.
Now we do start a bit off topic.
Yep. I can do the first one.
Sure.
Starting from our good friend W. Again, still just going with first letters. Favorite carb, and then crossed out, and why is it pasta? Problem. I'm not going with pasta.
What's your favorite carb?
I mean, it's potatoes, right?
Interesting.
Potatoes are the most versatile of all things. And to be fair, some people consider gnocchi a pasta because and you make that out of potato.
That's a pasta.
Yeah. Like,
Just with an asterisk.
Yeah, with a potato being a very heavily featured ingredient that is not typically
Look, potato is a
pasta.
classic.
But yeah, it's got to be potato.
I feel
have
like
never been
potatoes
steered wrong way a potato.
Is also one of those ones that I was seeing something recently about like the satiation index of like how full a food makes you. And potatoes are really high up there. There's like, it's not empty. Like you're going to eat it and then you're going to feel like you've eaten a lot and it's going to be good.
Yeah. Fun fact about potatoes also.
Yep.
And I know I have expressed shock to you at this. Everyone calls potatoes a root vegetable.
But they're not a root.
No. Sweet potatoes and those sorts of things. Yeah, I
but they're
think
not
they're
real.
roots. Potatoes, not a root vegetable. They're a stem. They are a not mutated, but they are a weird bulging bit of stem.
I would have said the word tuber. Is that what they are?
mean,
Is that what a tuber
probably.
is?
That might be
stem,
what
but it's not
tuber
root.
refers to.
Yeah.
It's not a root.
How fun. Potatoes are pretty good. I've made gnocchi before from scratch once or twice.
It's great.
Came out really good once and okay the second time, I think.
And also potato skin is apparently reasonably good for you.
Yeah.
That's
I got into
it's a great all-rounder.
for a long time, and still occasionally I would do like a lot of like large potato rosti style potato cake things with. It's an easy way to eat a potato. You just grate it. You wash a potato. You grate a potato. You keep the skin on. You grate the whole thing. You throw it in a big bowl. You throw in other vegetables you might want. Like you just like grate
it's like
up
making
or dice
an
up
omelette, but with potato.
Yeah, and you throw it all in there. You crack an egg in there. You put a bit of seasoning in there. You put a bit of flour in there to hold it all together.
Oh, egg and
Mix
flour.
It
It sounds like you've made pasta.
Yeah, you're right. And then you chuck it. You fry it. You like shallow fry it. You throw it in a pan and you cook it on a bit with a little bit of oil. And it comes out really great. And then you dip it in like a sweet chili sauce. Oh, it's really good. That was nice. Pasta, I do really like pasta.
Absolutely.
My current, I'm turning into an old person is I don't know how often I can eat. Like right now, pasta seems to be setting off something in my guts. It might just be the tomatoey sauces.
It
I
seems
might
to be.
able to do it in other ways, but it is a bit of a bother.
But the fettuccine with pumpkin sauce.
Why are we
that we've been
talking
having?
about bread?
Ooh.
Bread's really nice.
Bread's pretty grey.
You can just have a piece of bread, Danny.
But there are some types of bread that make me mad. Just like there are some pasta dishes that make me mad.
Picture a
Potato
baguette.
has never made me mad.
Picture a nice, fluffy baguette.
Yeah, that's if you get the perfect baguette.
Bread's pretty nice. But yeah, potatoes are pretty good too. I feel like sometimes, though, you can have potato where you just like, you got like a baked potato and it's only potato and there's nothing kind of on it and you just go, ooh, this is a bit hard to get through. It's a bit dry and... I suppose I'd say the same if someone gave me a plate of plain fettuccine. I'd be like, oh, I probably need something on this.
If I were on Survivor...
What about rice?
Nah. If I were on Survivor and it was going to be like, what is a food that I just want to be able to munch on when I am starving, and of all of these plain carbs, we weren't allowed to decorate them or season them or anything, munching on a baked potato is definitely the preference.
If we're
out of all of
talking
those.
about just the plain carb, to me, rice outpaces. I would eat if someone served me up a plate of plain spaghetti, I'd be like, "What are you doing?"
Sad.
If someone served me up just a potato with nothing else on it,
I'm
I'd be
okay
like,
with that.
I wouldn't. I'd be like, I can't do this. I don't want to eat this. If someone gave me just a piece of bread, I'm pretty happy. It's pretty good. Just eating bread by itself,
Yeah,
fresh
that's
bread,
fine.
fresh bread. That's
No, you
perfect.
don't get to stipulate.
But rice, just a bowl of plain, I would just be like, great,
Yeah,
and I would eat that.
That's
And I
what
would just
they
eat
get
it.
given as their
I think-
sad
I
rations
think
on
as
Survivor.
it's quality standalone. They're all good with food.
Potato
Rice
is a
is-
reward. Rice is a sad necessity.
No, rice is fantastic. Just some plain white rice is like beautiful.
Shall we
Love it.
move on? We said we needed to go fast, and we spent a lot of time on carbs.
Well, we can do the next question very quickly.
Oh, yes.
Danny,
Mm-hmm.
T would like to know whether you specifically, not me, has opinions on the anime Apothecary Diaries.
Boy, oh boy, I wish I did.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as I saw the question, I Googled it because I had never heard of it.
Should we watch it after this?
I
After
don't-
this AMA, should we give it a watch?
I don't know. I
I
feel
think
like
I'd heard of it.
yeah, I feel
Is
like
it
when
set
I
in
looked,
ancient China?
I don't know. I feel like when I looked it up, I went, "Oh, it's a bit of fun," and
We know nothing about
I
it.
know nothing
We
about
haven't
it. sadly.
seen it.
I'm-
Sorry.
Yeah, we've done some deep dives into a couple of anime, but my anime knowledge, the anime community can go deep. Like whenever I watch, what ProZD talk about ranking animes and guessing anime
and it's like, I
theme
haven't
songs
heard
and
of
stuff,
half of
I've
this.
never heard of any of them, and it's wild. Apparently, I'm super basic.
You got
mainstream.
stuck in your childhood watching Yu-Gi-Oh and Naruto.
I very rarely watched Naruto.
Well,
You've
there
watched
you
more
go.
Naruto than I
I
have.
probably have.
Most certainly, you have.
I'm sure I have. What about One Piece?
Never watched One Piece.
I'm not up to date on One Piece. I've only watched about 1,000 episodes.
Sick, really. So yeah, got some catching up to do.
What about Tokyo Revengers?
No, I don't know anything
I
about
was reading
it.
the manga for Tokyo Revengers, and then it kind of got to the point where it just keeps like solving the problem. You're like, we need a new problem. We got to go back. And I think on the third, we got to go back again, or maybe the fifth, we got to go back. I sort of trailed off a little bit. You know what I really liked recently as a manga reading start to finish?
Yeah.
Doro Edoro, the weird set in a magic world where all the humans live in a place called Hole and all the magicians live in a different planet or different place, and they travel through just to mess with people. And the main character's
why
had his
don't-
head turned into a lizard.
Why don't I remember you telling me about this?
And it's full of
This feels like something I'd remember. Did you tell me
it's
you
great
watched this?
because it's one of those ones where
Or
it's like
read
it's
this?
full of like there's classic like manga fan servicey sort of stuff where there's a lot of like, you know, almost naked women, and then you go, yeah, but there's something slightly different about it. It doesn't feel as weird, and also all these women are incredibly muscular and strange. And then you go, oh no, it's written by a woman who just wanted to draw sexy naked muscular women. It's very good. It's very fun. It's a very weird, great little manga, and it's finished. I basically, whenever I
always
find
good.
out about a new thing, I go, "Hey, is it done? Is it finished yet? Can I read the whole thing?" And if the answer is no, I just wait a couple
I
of years
would
until it's
read more
done.
manga if they were finished, but also so many of the finished ones are really sad. And there's
Yeah.
only so
Oh,
often
they're
that I
really
want to go out
sad.
of my way to be made sad. So I need something that is finished and satisfying and cool and fun. I need more murder mysteries, basically.
Yeah. There's a lot of really good ones that are just.
Miserable.
sad.
Yeah, can't handle it.
I want to read Oyasumi Punpun.
Probably
Is that what it's called?
not.
I don't know if that's
Which
what the
one's
name
that?
is. As a real sad
Yeah,
one.
no. Let's move on.
All right.
All right, on to E's question, which could apply to either of us, but it sounds more like a me one.
Sure.
Is there a puzzle that you've reflected back on after a while and gone, ugh, I have a great idea of how I could have done that better? Generally, if it's been a while, no, because I'll stop thinking about them and I
Fair.
will forget everything that I've ever done. But there have definitely been some occasions where we've run through the episode and in our podcast, This Escape Post-Ep discussions, I've thought, yeah, is it too late to change that? Yep. But it would have been a better idea. There are definitely some rooms that I look back on and there are some moments in them where I go, yeah, that's right. I probably wouldn't run that one again in its current form because there's something that that I'm a little bit not crazy about. Feels a little bit tenuous, a little bit flimsy, or just didn't hit right. But thinking of ways to improve it, often my way. You're really good at coming up with ways to improve something that's already existent. Mine tends to be, if something didn't work, scrap it and come up with
Start
something
again
completely
from the
different. Yeah.
Yeah. Would you usually, if you look back at a puzzle and you think, oh, I didn't like that one so much, would it be less, I want to go back and fix it, and more, well, I'm going to write a new room now, I'm going to do a better version, like I'm going to do something different this
More
time.
so, yes. Definitely more of that. Always moving forward.
Always forward.
That's why I feel guilty every time someone sends an email saying, hey, I ran one of your old rooms for my friends. It went great. And I go, oh, God. Oh, God, are you sure?
Lovely. So there you go. There's another question from A, which saying that they know that we've played real life escape rooms. What advice would we give to someone who wants to create their own escape room?
A real world escape
A
room.
real world escape
presumably.
room.
Get in touch with actual, like, friendly local indie room owners. Like,
Yes.
the community is the best thing for you. They will help. They know what you want. They know just the camaraderie and community that comes with those people is very special.
Yeah, look, we've talked about this before. As an industry, escape rooms are really nice because you know that once someone's played your room, they can't play it again. So you have sort of a shared audience around your community. So you kind of want to work with other people to, you can, if you know they have a good room, you can send your people there, they can send their people to you. You end up both expanding your reach because you can't really get as much return business. So you're not usually in direct competition, and you want your competitors, not competitors, you want the other escape rooms in your area to be good.
So that nobody who's doing it for the first time gets put off by the concept of escape rooms.
Most people who start doing an escape room are like, oh, I don't know what this is. And if their experience is bad, then they learn the fact of escape rooms are bad. So generally, other owners will want to help you get to do well, and they're very lovely, at least in our experience. The other thing I would say, again, we haven't made a real escape room. And there's a lot of stuff like, there's technical know-how. And usually it seems the best way to do that is to have a lot of people who design escape rooms learn the technical stuff on the go.
Yeah.
They're not usually coming from a technical background. They're usually coming from, I really love puzzles and I want to make this. So I think generally my thought would be, try and think about what you want the end product to be, to like as a player experience, and then based on that start to learn the skills required to make that happen, and then you'll have those in your toolbox. You can learn it again for the next thing. But I think if you come at it from, here's what I want the players to experience, and then try and find out how you could do that and learn those skills, rather than think, what can I do right now, let's see if I can make those skills into an escape room. I think trying to be aspirational and learn the skills to get you there will end up with a better result. But again, if you're a real escape room owner, you may have much better advice than us. We're not really in that field. And of course, you got to learn all the small business stuff. That's the
most
thing that's hardest,
frustrating
right?
part, that if you're building a real escape room, you're probably doing it as a small business owner, and there's a lot of red tape and other sorts of considerations.
You got to learn all your local laws and ordinances. You got to learn about location and how to advertise and where you should be and how you should be. That's all stuff that we got no idea how to do. So good luck, but you learn all that sort of stuff.
Community, and have fun learning new stuff.
Learn from the people you've around who are successful. And if there are none around, travel to another town where there are some escape rooms, do a couple of them, and talk to the owners there. One thing that we find is very helpful is owners like to talk about their rooms. They like people who are enthusiastic. If you get in contact with them and say, oh, hey, I'm an aspiring escape room owner, could I chat with you? Like, I've got a room booked on Thursday. If you're there, can we have a chat afterwards? Can we talk about the room? And I'd love to pick your brain a little bit. They'll probably just say, yeah, that sounds great. Because most of them are enthusiastic and want to talk about this sort of stuff with people who really like this stuff.
Exactly. This will also be a great opportunity for doing things like go to Recon.
Go to Recon. Get tickets to Recon, and you can chat with other escape room people and find out about the ins and outs.
And a lot of the people who give presentations at Recon, so this is a big room escape conference online this year, coming up in not too long. We'll have plenty of links and things available when that's on.
Yep.
A lot of the people who give presentations are actual room owners who are giving discussions about the sorts of things that you do need to consider.
Yeah, so that's also a really nice way to do it. If all of it, but like there's some expense to Recon. I think it's not too bad when it's online, because you don't have the expense of traveling there as well. But even if you can't do that, talking to escape room owners.
If you're starting an escape room, it's a business expense.
That's true. Yeah, it's also going to be expensive in general. That's our advice. It is not brilliant advice. Most of our advice is talk to the people who can give you better advice.
Yeah. All right, next one from Jay. Ooh, I might need you to open up Google for this one just to help.
Let's go for it.
Favorite John Hughes movie?
Now, John
Jay's
Hughes
is The Breakfast Club, which is a very solid movie.
Classic 80s director.
Yeah, now
Breakfast Club, Pretty in Pink.
Well, this is the thing. It's like one like Not
16
St. Elmo's
Candles.
Fire.
Not St. Elmo's
As
Fire.
far as I understand. Now, Ferris Bueller?
Um,
Was that John Hughes as well?
yes.
Cool.
Oh, and Uncle Buck. And wait, who did Planes, Trains, and Automobiles?
Oh,
the answer,
really?
if that's the case, the answer is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Hmm.
He wrote Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Oh, okay.
He wrote The
interesting.
Breakfast Club. He wrote Ferris Bueller. He wrote Uncle Buck. Did he direct them as well, or is he always just a writer?
Thought he was a director.
He's directed. Okay, he's directed 8 movies. The directed
Okay,
by.
let's narrow it down to
Let's
these
narrow
8.
it down to these 8. We've got 16 Candles.
Mhm.
Never seen it.
No.
Breakfast Club. Pretty
Seen it?
good.
Great.
It's a classic.
Yeah.
Love Breakfast Club.
Mhm.
Weird Science.
Oh, haven't seen it.
Haven't seen it, but one of those ones that when I was a kid and I was in Blockbuster, I would walk past
yeah.
the case of Weird Science all the time and be like, what the hell is this? Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Sure.
I think Ferris Bueller's Day Off is a victim of its own popularity sometimes. I think some people forget that it's just a good movie because it's such a memed movie. And I think if you take it, like if you look at it again, you're like, oh, actually, that's got some really good stuff going on.
Great movie.
That scene
really liked it.
where it's just zooming in to Alan Ruck's face and zooming into the
Sunday in the
painting, the
Park.
Sunday in the Park, and then zooming into that's a great scene. That's a really nice shot. It's just
Yeah.
very good. I think Ferris Bueller's Day Off is very good. Now, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Hmm.
That is a classic
been a
comedy. It's
while.
very fun. People don't talk about it as much as Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
It's
It's
not
because it's
a
not
teen
part
one.
of it's not this like young person comedy, but it's really if you haven't seen Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, it's John Candy and Steve Martin, and one of them's annoying, and one of them's also annoying, but he doesn't think he's annoying because he's
Uptight
him.
annoying.
He's uptight, and then they have to travel, and it's just that's a very basic premise. It's really good. It's well worth a watch if you haven't seen Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. It's a classic. I haven't seen it for a while.
No, I
Maybe if I
don't-
watched it again now, I'd be like, ooh.
Well, this is the thing.
But I think actually it's great.
I don't remember feelings about it enough. Like Breakfast Club and especially Ferris Bueller, I have seen Ferris Bueller so
Hmm.
many times that I know exactly what my feelings are about it at all times.
That's fair.
And I do really love it. I think it's probably got to be my top pick, but there are so many that I haven't seen that it sort of wins by default.
That's very fair.
And-
well, there's 3 more.
Oh, okay, sorry.
She's Having a Baby. Never
Oh.
heard of it.
Nope.
Uncle Buck. Uncle
Not
Buck.
part
I
of
don't
my
think you haven't seen-
childhood.
I did see it as a kid. It's a lovely movie. John Candy as Uncle Buck.
Just
Yeah.
goofball adult movies
Yeah.
make me sad
Uncle Buck
because
is
they're
one of those
usually
ones.
sad.
It's got that classic like touching movie moment of like the teen girl who doesn't like Uncle Buck and he's here to look out, and then she gets into some kind of trouble at a party and he turns up and he's just like, I'm here to protect you because I'm Uncle Buck, but I'm going to do it in a real weird way. And everyone's like, whoa. And she's like, oh,
Okay.
he's great. Like I think he pretends, I think he just threatens to kill some kids.
Sure,
It's
sure.
great. But again, John Candy is really nice in that. It's really lovely. It's got that classic scene that there's probably a lot of like shorts online of him talking to Macaulay Culkin. Macaulay Culkin's like asking him questions and he answers them in a really deadpan, quick way. It's like, how do you
Alright.
know my parents? We've been friends. Like, it's I don't know. I can't remember any of the lines. I
He's
remember
not
it's
their
really
real
good.
uncle.
No, I think he's their real uncle.
Oh, okay.
But it's great. It's really fun. It's a good movie. But I think I'm putting it to Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Oh, and also Curly Sue is the last one. I've never heard of that either.
I've heard of that, but I don't know anything about it.
So my answer is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. And
Yeah,
Danny's is
I'll
Ferris
go Ferris
Bueller's
Bueller, but Breakfast
Day
Club
Off.
is fantastic. Maybe I should give that one more watch just to see how it stacks up.
I remember that scene
has been a
in
while.
Breakfast Club where he's like taking the role and he looks at all the kids and he's like, breakfast. That's a good
Solid
scene.
movie. I think my biggest problem is that I don't have much of a memory of the principal, weirdly. Like, the kids are very memorable, and I know a lot of people have strong feelings about the principal. I do not remember him well enough, and I think that is my blind spot of why I can't get a full
Fair.
emotional read on the movie. I think I need more of that guy.
All right, lovely. Next question. Danny, we have to go quicker.
Yep.
All right. Oh, this is fun. From C.
Mhm.
What are your favorite tasks from Taskmaster? I'm not going to take that again. You all understood what I said.
Ooh.
Any run, New Zealand, Australia, whatever. There's a lot of Taskmaster. We have watched a lot of Taskmaster. We've
Yeah.
watched every season of the
Every UK, New
season,
Zealand, and Australia.
all the New Zealand seasons, all the Australian seasons. We've watched one of the like Finnish. Was it the Finnish season? The one that had the Ylvis brothers. Are they brothers?
Oh, wait.
Norway?
Oh, no.
The Norway season?
Norway.
One of the Scandi seasons.
Yeah.
And we've seen the original US
Yeah.
attempt season, which was fine, but it didn't quite
Eh.
catch the. It didn't.
Eh.
It didn't get the. What's your favorite task? Or what are some of your favorite tasks?
All right. In general, I think the two varieties that I enjoy the most. I'm not that good at creative tasks.
Sure.
I don't like ones that involve creating skits as much like that because I know I would suck at those.
Yes, I agree.
The ones that I like most are anything that has a part 2.
Oh, anytime we do the thing and then they do it and then he hands them a second envelope and it says, now
Yes.
here's what you're really being tested
And possibly the best one of those was the long-term one where they give the envelope that said, hey, you've got to come and put on this jumpsuit when you hear a siren. And then much later, they had a task that was to like bind themselves in some way.
And then they just.
And then the siren went off
That
while
was
they were
actually,
bound.
yes, that was really smart.
Long-term sorts of ones like that.
That was like a 2-part twist task, but where the twist was given much earlier than
Yes.
the rest of the task.
Love it.
That's really, that is
Spectacular.
very fun.
Other ones that I really enjoy, and I think there's been at least one example, maybe a couple in the live tasks, and one that I can think of really memorably in a filmed task, which is anywhere everyone has to decide when they want to do a thing, but or how they want to perform in a thing. But first and last both suck, and you want to be somewhere in the middle.
That's
Like
fun.
the one was High Five Alex, and
What, best high five and worst high five lose?
No,
Or
first and
Oh,
last.
yes. Yeah, that was great. And they edited them all together.
Yeah.
So this was, a person standing in basically
all I remember
on a
is Judy
soccer
Love.
pitch or something and doing like high five Alex at any time, whenever you want to. He's going to stand here, go up to him and high five him whenever you want. But if you're the first, if you have the shortest time or the longest time, you lose. So how long do you wait?
Yeah.
And then they edited it so they were all sort of like standing together. So it looked like they were all doing it at once, but they each did it individually. That was a really fun.
Spectacular.
That was really, really nice.
Any
Yeah.
that sort of pitch them in mind games against each other. The live task one that I'm immediately thinking of is draw the second longest snake. Or like
Yeah.
draw the average duck. They have ones like that.
Yeah,
I'm
those
really
are
into
really
those.
nice. I mean, yeah, it's like there's a lot of I don't know if I can remember many individual tasks as standing out over others when I try and think of like if I had a long time to prep for this question, I could probably come up with a list. Weird ones that jumped in my head are ones where there's like the team task. I think it was on Lee Mack's season with the team task where it was like carry this
throwing a
salt
bag
to
of
the
salt.
thing, and then it turned out that the bag was sugar,
The bag
and you
of
had
salt
to
was
be
something
insulting
completely
each
different.
other as well, or something like
I
that.
do
Those fun
love
ones where there's a
anything
reward
like that.
for going. Wait a minute. Let me really consider. Let me
Of
look at the
course.
assumptions I've been given and go. Hold on a second. I remember when that was one of the principles of design for Rise of the Golden Idol was give people an assumption where they assume a thing will be true based on the scene that they are presented with. And then as they learn something else, it makes them go back to that original thing and reinterpret it in a new way.
And
that's like a classic.
It's also very big in a lot of Agatha
thing that you want.
Christie's that
Yeah.
I say is no. Anytime there is an assumption, really hammer in on who told you that was true and
Exactly.
how you know it's true.
And so the idea of like, take the salt to here, and then you're shown a big bag of sugar, which you therefore assume must be salt because it said take the salt.
Yeah.
And that moment of, wait a minute, what was I actually told? It didn't say take this salt or take this bag or anything like that. It said take the salt. Is that what this is? I really like the ones where they reward that questioning of the assumptions of the task that have been given.
Definitely.
Just like, well, why did you think that? I never said that. You just, that was completely your idea. I never said that. I think is a really fun element to a lot of tasks. And there's been many different seasons. I think that's a classic little feeling I like. Yeah, they're nice. Every now and then, though, I also like the ones where they take away all of the getting around it and they say, no, you just have to do this one.
Those make me
Throwing Tim
panic.
Vine's season where they had to throw the darts at different distances, and it really was, a lot of it's like, no, don't move it, don't move this, just throw the darts.
At least you had to make a decision at the start.
Yeah, I like that. Those are fun as well.
Just pick one of these objects on the table.
Yes, and then now you're stuck with it. Lots of fun things like that. But they're all good. If you're
Those
not
are
watching,
fun to watch, but I wouldn't love to be doing them.
I will say this is not necessarily about favorites, but it's a fun little fact. We've had Alex Horn on the show a couple of times. He's a very lovely guy. We've met up with him in the UK on a recent trip. Very nice man. Very lovely. Always. Hopefully he'll be back on many, many times. There was one particular task that was the catalyst for us to ask Alex to be on the show, to reach out to Alex. And the catalyzing task that made us think, yeah, he wants to do our show, even if he doesn't know it, was the get the key, where Alex was like locked up.
He was
He
handcuffed.
was handcuffed. He said, you have to
and the
find the
task
key
was
to this
find the
handcuff.
key to unlock him.
And it was this long series of clues and puzzles, which had the most escape room vibe ever. And the solution in the end was, I'm not even going to spoil it, but it was something fun and silly. And we saw that task and we thought, okay, he clearly loves escape rooms and he clearly loves this sort of stuff. We'll get him on the show and he'll love it. And then we talked to him on that show and he revealed, oh no, I hadn't done an escape room. People have told me that's very escape room. Like, I guess that's cool. But no, I just designed a fun task.
His brain was there before he knew it.
But that was the one that for us was like we have to reach out to Alex Horn. So that's a fun fact for people who want some behind the scenes things about what makes us reach out to the people we reach out to. Sometimes we see a thing that makes them look like escape room fans, and so we just reach out.
Way back early on in Taskmaster, like season 2 or whatever of UK, super quickly, there was one task where they all had to come up with their own task, and then one of the people had to do them all.
Yes, that was fun.
And I was thinking, oh, what would my task be? And this was super early day, so I just thought, oh, my task would just be don't blink. And then the Norwegian or whatever Taskmaster has a don't blink task, and
that was
you
great.
should look it up. It is psychotic.
Yeah, they're freaks. I don't think people in, I think it's Norway, blink at all. So that's why it was so easy for them. Some of them went like days. It was crazy.
It's well worth a watch.
Yeah.
Can I just say, also asked before that, little bit of a tongue-in-cheek sort of question, what question do you most wish somebody would ask you in an AMA?
I skipped that because
You
it seemed
did,
too tongue-in-cheek.
But I do have an answer. Just one thing that I was a little bit surprised is a serious question that nobody asked.
Oh, really? And what's that?
Nobody has ever asked our thoughts about AI use.
It's
in
too
any of
serious.
this.
It's too serious.
It's too serious, but I'm a little surprised it never came up.
Well, no one's asked it, so we can't answer the question.
That's
Sorry.
fair.
All right. Danny, would you like to do the next question?
Okay, thank you. From P. What fictional universe would you want to live in?
Okay, we can answer that quickly. Danny, what fictional universe would you like to live in?
Probably Charmed. It's just like the regular universe, but you know it's got a really good afterlife.
That's kind of our general rule for these things. The sadly depressing thing is usually we go, well, what's a fictional universe where we know there's eternal life? We'll pick that one because that seems good. Oh, that one's got a canonical heaven? Yes, please.
That'll do.
And look, there are plenty of you out there who are operating right now with the knowledge that this world has a canonical heaven. Awesome. Good on you.
That must be pretty sweet. Next question, also from P. If you were a Pokemon gym leader, what would your specialty type or gimmick be?
Ooh, okay. I'm building I really like bug types. And you know why? You know why I really like bug types, Danny? Because I play the openings of Pokemon games so many times. Of any given Pokemon game, I'll like finish it once, but I'll play the first 2 hours of it 17 times.
They're very special.
So therefore, a lot of bugs.
Yeah. If I have to pick my types, I've got very good soft spots for a little bit ice type, but they're a bit fragile. I've always loved ground types. Lately, the older I've gotten, the more straightforward and streamlined I've gotten, where I want something with big old power attacks. So the older I get, the more likely I am to just go straight fighting.
Fair. Now, you didn't let me finish about my gimmick.
Sorry.
Here's the gimmick of my bug gym.
Mm-hmm.
You walk into the whole gym. It's tiny. It's one small room. And in front of you, there's a cocoon. There's a chrysalis.
Mm-hmm.
The longer you wait in this room, the more powerful the trainer will be when you decide to open the chrysalis, and the more reward you'll get. And if you wait here all day until the evening when I arrive at like 10 p.m., you can open the chrysalis and I'll be there, the gym leader, and you can challenge me for the badge. But if you're impatient, you open it up and it's just like, I'm a bug boy.
Oh, that's
I've
great.
got a canopy. And if you wait like a couple hours, you open it up and it's just like, I have a time to... It's a different person, obviously.
Yeah.
We just swap them out,
Of
right?
course.
It's like, so we have shifts, and that way everyone's only there for a little bit of the day.
See,
They don't have to waste their day.
The weird part is I don't think that you've put prior thought into this. I think that this is an idea that you have just had.
I've literally just had this idea right now.
Wow.
As I said the word bug gym. There's been no prior... I've never thought about this before in my life. That's what I think the gym. It's a chrysalis. It's a growing chrysalis, the bug of evolving, and they eventually turn into me, the gym leader.
Nice.
But you have to wait. And if you don't wait, it's a show that your understanding of bug Pokemon evolution is flawed, and so you don't deserve the gym badge. Nothing says this. There's no thing on the wall that says like wait longer to get a harder gym leader. It's like no. They have to have an appreciation, understanding of bug Pokemon, And if they're opening the cocoon early,
You're
basically,
getting into bugs
10
because they
PM
evolve at
Yeah.
level 10?
at 10 p.m., I come out myself. They don't have to open it. It unveils, and they've let me. Because bug Pokemon training isn't about growing the bug Pokemon. It's about letting them evolve and gestate and come out of their cocoon at the right time. If you're giving rare candies to your Metapod,
Oh, that's silly.
you've ruined bugs for everybody, and that's I don't want to reward that. So if they ever open it up, it's show that they don't respect and understand bugs, so they don't get the gym badge. They have to wait till I emerge.
That's beautiful.
Instead, they just get other trainers.
Nice.
This is my gym. I've done it. I've fixed it. And in game, you have to leave your game running for 10 hours, sitting just in the gym. You have to leave it with a counter.
That was
timing.
definitely how I understood it.
That's it.
Oh, that's so much more well thought out than anything that I have.
Yeah, what's your gimmick? Fighting type, Danny?
I don't know. I haven't thought that far ahead. It's going to take me too long to come up with something.
Well, why don't we answer the rest of these questions then?
I could just do a stat off with someone. I don't care about IVs and EVs and all of that sort of stuff. But yeah, typically just say cool. So I'm gonna use my highest speed Pokemon. Use your highest speed Pokemon. Let's go.
It's fun.
See what happens.
I like it. Some kind of Pokemon Olympics.
Exactly. All right. Your turn. Scrolling down to L's question, I believe.
Yeah, great. I'll read this one from L. Do you have a favorite computer game whose plot/storytelling really stuck with you?
Oh,
Let's go explicitly plot storytelling, because obviously
one of those things where obviously the answer is yes, so many, but like freezing when you're asked in the moment.
Oh, true. And there's also there's plenty of games where the plot and the storytelling wasn't what stuck with me, right? Like growing up, especially when we were younger, I feel like we were still in the era of games moving out of an arcadey sort of world, right? In the 90s, video games were pulling themselves out of a world of it had been happening earlier, but there was still this remnants of video games are like arcade toys. And so they're not meant to be telling a story, which is still around now. It's still a true thing, right? Video games as storytelling versus video games as toys, digital toys, is still a big thing, and a big design debate between how you should develop them and how far in each of those ways that you go, because they are all an element of both together, right? They're not just stories; they are also toys.
Yeah.
So Banjo-Kazooie, for example, is a game that will stick with me forever, playing it so much as a kid, but not because of the plot. Not because oh my God, I can't believe my sister's been kidnapped by a witch. No, but because of the design and the world and the music and the movement and the gameplay and all that. So that's what created it. It wasn't same with playing Commander Keen as a kid on my DOS computer. It's I wasn't sitting there being I'm enthralled in the storyline and the plot.
And then the proper RPGs started expanding a little bit, like playing through Dragon Age Origins for the first time. That was my probably my first big RPG that I really engaged with.
And story and plot-wise, and character, and the writing.
I could not have been
really
more
fantastic.
emotionally invested.
Yeah, hugely.
But typically I want to say these sorts of things, especially when it comes to how you do storytelling, it's a thing that you more associate with indie games. And
sometimes, yeah.
Oh, is it the very first one that very heavily comes to mind is Undertale.
That's fair as well.
Undertale is very special. And I think that it is lovely and beautiful, and playing it, and the music is
music's very, very good.
Better than you remember that it's going to be. And I find that the way that it gets its story across is really special and touching without being sad.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not. Being sad is one thing, but I don't know. I don't want the sadness to outweigh my happiness with how good the story is.
Yeah, that's fair. I will say, again, there's a lot of games early on where, again, I wouldn't say that plot and storytelling was the specific thing, or the capacity to be in that world and create the stories and the characters that were meaningful to you. Like Sword of the Samurai from 1989 is still, I think, in my eyes, one of the best video games ever made. And it's fantastic and it's really enjoyable. But it's not story driven.
Yeah.
I reckon probably the first thing where, no, even then, I was going to say original Quest for Glory might be one, but I wouldn't call that plot heavy as well. There's some, again, that's about the adventure. The one that I think is closest, as in terms of, again, one of the games that I think is one of the best games ever made, even though it's got some buggy insanity to it, Arcanum. Arcanum is an
Yeah.
old, technically
That's
it's
very vague.
Arcanum Steam
Ste-
and oh my
Something
God.
works.
Obscura. I can't remember what's the full title.
Surely it's somewhere up
Steamworks
here.
Obscura in there. But Arcanum is a classic like isometric role playing game from I think the year 2000 or roughly around
Goodness,
then.
that early.
And I think compared to other ones like that were at the time, I think it had a really compelling world and a compelling narrative. I think that was the first one where I really got into the narrative of like who the characters were. Like the individual character narratives were really interesting. The world's narrative was really interesting. Learning about the actual specifics of the backstory of the world that weren't just like, here's a vague feeling of backstory, like you get in, say, like a Dark Soulsy sort of modern take of like, we'll give you a vibe for the backstory. The idea of like reading newspaper articles in the game of Arcanum to figure out true events that happened in the world leading up to where I got really into.
As well you were. That's
Moving
really
forward
cool.
into like the actual like beats of the story and the twists and what it meant and like meeting people down the road that you'd heard of early. I think that was one of the first ones that was for me. I mean, look, it came out when I was not even 10 years old, maybe, if it came out in the year 2000. So that was one of the first ones for me that was like a really like, oh, I really liked the storytelling of this game. Having not played it, but now played it in my adulthood, Fallout, which came out by the same people, or at least a lot of the same team, but a few years before Arcanum, that's got a really engaging kind of story and character line through it. So I'd say that stands out. But the classic one that I like to point to, from a pure plot perspective, with no other caveats, that stuck with me, is Final Fantasy X. I love Final Fantasy X. I love all the characters in it. I love the world, and I love the story. And that, in a Final Fantasy way, being very linear and very cinematic and very like, we're going to feed you a story as you go, rather than like you have no real input on the story in Final Fantasy. So in terms of it just going, I'm presenting you a plot and a narrative, what do you think? That's a really good one. It's if you haven't played Final Fantasy X, hot take, it's the best Final Fantasy game. The combat is the best. The story is the best. The character is the best. Sorry. Hey, I know you. Oh, what about Final Fantasy VII? I know people have told you 7's the best, but you should have your real opinion, which is that 10's the best.
Fair
What about 9? No. People have told you that 9's really good too, but actually 10's the best. Oh, what about 8? Come on, get out of here. Squall. Pfft, who needs that guy? He's cool. I really liked 8 as well. 8's very fun. But 10's just really good. 10's got a really nice set of characters, a really interesting world, good twist at the appropriate times that have a real impact as you play it. So I think for me, that's the quintessential, from a pure plot storytelling thing, really stuck with me.
Nice. All right, we've got one from P. This is going to expose another weak point of mine. Which year during your lifetime produced the greatest music?
Okay.
So I was born in 1990. I didn't really listen to music until I was like 11, and even then sporadically. It's still not a strong point of mine. Every so often I'll go on a semi-music binge just for trivia purposes to make sure that I've heard a couple of new songs, but music has never been a thing that I do for fun, really.
Whereas for me, I listened to music a lot for fun, really loved it, but not in a topical way. I was very rarely listening to music based on its
Yes, this is
news,
largely what I mean,
right?
yeah.
So for a lot of my time, it's like, oh, it's 1999. What are you going to listen to? And I'll be like, I'll listen to a compilation of Leonard Cohen songs. None of these came out in 1999.
Yeah, I know that when I ran a couple of years, did City to Surf a couple of times, and it was back when you were allowed to wear earphones for it, and I don't know how people don't. It's because they don't want earbuds to be falling everywhere, I believe.
Sure.
But I couldn't have done those runs without music to keep a beat for me to run. And I know that I just had a couple of Triple J Hottest 100 compilation tracks from like 1999 to 2001. And I don't know which one was which, but one of those 3 years, spectacular. What year was No Aphrodisiac?
Oh, that's a good song. I also want to point out for people who are maybe getting the wrong idea, I would not ever intentionally not listen to music that was new. I was listening to new music
Absolutely.
as well. I was just listening to whatever I thought sounded nice, and I was listening to it. I was
I
never like, oh, that came out this year. I would listen to the classic. No, I'd love anything new as well. In fact, I actually usually had a really bad capacity to tell the difference.
Yes.
Because it was all just music. That was good. So I'd listen to something and be like, oh, is that like 20 years old? It's like, no, it came out 2 days ago. It's like, oh, okay, cool. No Aphrodisiac by the Whitlams. Great song.
Beautiful.
Came out 97. December
Interesting.
97.
Okay, so it may have been on actually the 98
Let's find
Hottest
out
100 then.
what else came out in 1997. What's the 1997 Hottest 100?
Surely you'd go for 1998. The Hottest 100 comes out in
I mean,
January.
True, but this does have... Well, this is the hottest... So I think in 1998,
Oh,
it
this
was
is like the
hottest 100
Oscars.
of 1997, right? So, what do we got? I Give In by Effigy.
I don't know what that is.
That's because it's the 100th on this top 100.
Oh, okay. Yeah, why
what
don't
do
you
we
scroll to
got?
the top? Or the...
This is the bottom, Danny.
No,
Okay,
Come
I'll
on,
scroll
we
the
don't need to
bottom.
go through all 100.
All right.
Just find the best ones.
Number 1, Whitlam's No Aphrodisiac.
Okay, cool.
If you haven't heard it, it's a great song. It's really
It's
good.
entirely possible since the one that I was an album, it was only like the top 30 tracks or
True.
something.
Song 2 by Blur.
That's pretty great.
That's a pretty classic song. Tub Thumping Chumbawamba.
Amazing.
It's iconic. Bittersweet Symphony, The Verve.
Oh.
A song by Pauline Pantsdown. Blink 182, Damn It. Paranoid Android, Radiohead.
Oh, I love that.
Marilyn Manson, Beautiful People.
That's pretty good. I like other ones better. but
Karma Police, Radiohead.
Love it.
That's a good
I
song.
think it's 1997.
Leaving Home, Jebediah, don't know it.
That's fine.
Walking on the Sun, Smash Mouth.
Aw.
I'll be walking on the sun. Ben Folds 5,
Oh.
One Angry Dwarf and 200 Solemn Faces.
Not familiar with
Never
that
heard of it.
one.
Freak by Silverchair.
Yeah.
If Silverchair's album, is that Frog Stomp? Is that 1997? Is it Frog Stomp? Silverchair. What album was coming out in 1997? I mean, they're active from 1992, so actually that would have been their original album, right? Discography for Silverchair.
I'll be very interested to know how many of these songs are international versus
Oh yeah, this is
purely
true.
Australian.
Silverchair, I don't know if anyone... Frog Stomp was 1995. That's a good album.
Please listen to No Aphrodisiac by the
Freak-
Whitlams, though.
Freak Show was 1997.
I don't feel feelings for that many songs, but I love that song.
Which had Freak, Slave. I don't know many of these songs actually.
When did Short Skirt Long Jacket come out?
Oh yeah, what Cake albums were coming out? I think Short Skirt Long Jacket was the year 2000. Short Skirt Long Jacket by Cake.
So what I'm
2001. That was on Comfort Eagle. Which is
Okay, so
2001.
what I'm getting is
That makes
that
it a
in
big
my
deal.
lifetime, the best music came out a little bit before I started listening to music.
But when did Prolonging the Magic come out? Which was the Cake album that I had as a kid. 1998.
Ah.
So it's a good time
Pretty
for music.
tight.
Man, Cake's a good band. Super
All right,
Jesus
well,
Down
I'm-
Again.
I'm
Prisoner of
pretty-
Society, Living End.
Beautiful song.
That's a good song.
Great fun.
Prisoner of Society. Everybody's free to wear sunscreen. I don't know.
Aww.
Into My Arms by Nick Cave, which means The Boatman's Call
Oh,
would have come out in
that's-
1997. That's a good album.
Oh, what a peaceful song.
Cake, I Will Survive. What?
Okay.
Okay, cool. So that just as a cover, that's fun. That's a good cover. Foo Fighters, Monkey Ranch.
Sure.
What else we
It's
got
okay.
here? I'm trying to look for anything else I know. Hitchin' a Ride, Green Day,
Don't
which
know that
means I
one.
think that means Warning came out. Is that this? Was that the album? Third album,
Jim
Warning.
Knowing his music.
Apparently I know music from the 90s because Green Day had. I can't remember their first album is, but neither can anybody. Then they had
Was it called Green Day?
probably, and then there was Dookie, and then there was Warning.
I'm shaking my
what are-
head
Okay,
here.
what are some Green Day albums?
Oh, come on.
Sorry, we're just googling Green Day now. Green Day, give me some quick quiz, Danny. Green Day, one word or two?
2.
It is.
Her Green
What's your
Day.
discography? Oh no, they had 2 albums before Dookie. Sorry, they had 39 Smooth and Kaplunk.
Oh, okay.
They had Insomniac. Oh, Nimrod was 1997.
Ah,
That's
yes,
the
of
album. Nimrod.
course.
Nimrod. What's the track list on Nimrod?
We don't need to go into
Nice
every
Guys
song
Finished
that
Last,
existed. I don't know
Hitchin' a
it.
Ride.
Don't know it.
The Grouch, I don't remember.
Don't know
Redundant.
it. Don't know
Scattered.
it. Don't know it.
Oh man. Good Riddance.
I
Good
know
Riddance, Time of
of
Your
that
Life.
one. Certainly had
King
to hear
for a
that
Day.
every year at the end of school.
Yeah.
Shall we keep going? I think
Oh,
we
yeah,
got,
sure.
I think
Nine Inch Nails, The
1997 is
Perfect
the
Drug, Silverchair, The
Oh.
Door, Cows with Guns, which we were talking about
Cows with
recently on this
Guns?
show.
Wow.
Why are we talking about Cows with Guns? It
I-
might have been on the Patreon, but we were talking about the song Cows with Guns.
Because I heard it on the radio and didn't know what to think.
Semi-Charmed Life by Third Eye Blind.
Yeah, 1997 wins.
When did Bone Machine come out?
We were a solid 6 years old.
Oh,
That
Bone
was
Machine was
exciting.
1992. When did Mule Variations come out? Mule Variations? 1999. When did Alice come out? I'm going to find a Tom Waits album
Alice is the one that I like.
from 1990. Ah, it was 2002. Alice is also a real good album. If you haven't listened to the Tom Waits album Alice, you should do that too. Listen to every song we've said, even the bad ones. So I guess apparently it's 1997, but we don't really think that. All good music is, and it's still now. There's still great stuff coming out every
Absolutely.
day. Someone just posted a picture of a cat. I think they may have had the wrong channel on our Discord.
No, it makes sense to me.
We got another one from C. How do you design and solve escape rooms with boxing gloves on?
Oh, so we're going to do like a no rolls barred Jenga, but with boxing gloves. We're going to do escape room, but with boxing gloves. I think that that's a good penalty to have to give yourself if you know that there's an easy room in your local area
Now,
and you want to give yourself some sort of handicap.
to be clear, this entire question is just a Homestar Runner reference.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
This is just the email to Strongbad.
Yeah. How do you type?
How do you type with boxing gloves on?
Yeah.
Just for the audience at home. I understand that's
Yes, fair enough. Worth an explanation.
yeah, this is just a reference, but it is a reference to Homestar Runner, which was great. I loved Homestar Runner as growing up.
I want to do an escape room with boxing gloves on to see how funny it is.
Okay, we should go to a real escape room with boxing
Yes.
gloves on. Let's do it.
There's one that we know we've been told that we shouldn't do because it's a little bit basic, a little bit easy.
Oh, but if we did it with boxing gloves on.
Exactly.
If you haven't watched Homestar Runner, I don't know if it's easy to get into now, but go back and just pretend you're new. In fact, I think they just redid the website. They just got it
They
back
did,
to a
didn't
website
they?
again. Go to homestarrunner.com,
I
watch
think
it
it's
all.
pretty solid.
It's great. Watch all the watch all the emails.
It's not the usual like lol random humor of the early
No,
2000s.
no. It's a
just
classic
fun.
piece of internet culture, and it's fantastic, and you should watch it all. Watch all the Teen Girl Squads. You just got to start going. It's sometimes hard to know like what you should know about each of the characters by the time you click on each of the videos. Don't worry. Just dive in and just see and just have some fun on homestarrunner.com. Wonderful. We have... do you want to do the next question?
Okay, sure. So this one from A.
No.
What?
They've specifically said use their full name.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Albert. We can do that. I've noticed that you include some queer representation in your room, so I wanted to hear your opinion on representation in storytelling. In general, I feel like have we already said this? Or have we just talked about this together enough?
Maybe, I don't know. Let's at least do a quick...
Okay.
Let's hit the...
So in
let's
general,
hit the
my
notes.
quick summary of it is it's generally started out as, yeah, of course, just like be nice, balanced, incorporate everything as normal. Like when it comes to LGBT representation, just everything can fit and feel normal. Like there shouldn't be any stress or particular emphasis in any way. But then the further radicalized I've gotten, I've just gone, nope, everybody. It is everybody, and I will make it as in your face as I want, and you will like it.
Fair.
Sometimes like, you find people out there who get mad at any kind of representation, and you get mad back at them. And so it's just like, yeah.
Yeah. Look, I think it's good. I think especially for younger people, it's nice to have a touchstone in the media that you consume of a person that is like you, right? And that's not even, you don't even need to get into like, you don't even need to go as far as like, oh, what about queer people or what this? Even just the idea of like, what about a woman who's like a human being? So that when you watch that, you can be like, that woman's a human and not just like a caricature of a woman. That sort of stuff is already somehow radical, especially even more and more nowadays is becoming radical. Like, oh, that woman acted like a person. That's not, this woke, terrible.
Yeah.
It's getting, I think it's getting worse while it also is getting better as we kind of divide ourselves as a community, which is not so fun. But it's good. I think it's nice to be able to be like, oh, I'm somewhat normal because I can see a person acting like me. That's great. I know that there are people who act like this. I know that there are other people who are like this.
I said this recently. I can't remember what we were watching or playing or something, but I just out loud said, "Oh, when there are gay people in media, I feel so safe."
Yes. Yeah, right? Because there's an understanding of like you're not waiting for this to be introduced as a bad thing if it's been introduced as a good thing. You're not waiting for it to be like, oh, I don't know what this person's values are because I so far have just seen this type of person. Maybe maybe they've just overlooked it, or maybe they think that's the only real type of person.
I really disengage now with a lot of old media, like from decades back, even the ones that are considered absolute amazing classics, because they don't have any sort of like diverse representation in any way, and it actively just puts a distance there now, and I feel weird when I watch it. I just feel like, yeah, but I don't know if you really know people. You feel like you're in a weird bubble there, don't you?
I think it's only really egregious if there's like a very clear answer to a question which is fundamentally ignored because they can't acknowledge that type of person exists. It's like, wait a minute, this person appeared to be attracted to men, but now I've seen that they're attracted to women. Oh, wonderful. So I know they're really attracted to women. And you go, wait, hold on, wait. It could have been both.
Yeah.
Like,
this
it can't be a gay man because it's attracted to a woman. It could have been both. That's an option.
Definitely.
And it's just, and it starts to feel weird.
Yeah.
It's like it's just that kind of stuff. We're just like, hey, actually these types of people exist. It's kind of weird we're not talking about it. Although I will say the thing that is annoying the opposite way when people get bothered by representation because they're like, well, how can I, a straight white man,
generally, just off the cuff,
as an example,
generally,
but not always. How can I, some kind of loser, not straight, just because you're complaining, not because of who you are. It's because of this complaint that makes you a loser. How can I ever, connect with this? That person isn't like me, so you get in a lot of video games. Oh, the main character is a woman, but I'm not a woman. How can I ever connect to that? And they never then think, oh, wait a minute, maybe other people were feeling that as well. And also a little bit, the other people probably got over it, right? Because they're forced into empathy by needing to empathize with characters that aren't like them. The fact that you can't empathize with a character who isn't like you, that's a bad sign that you should fix, as opposed to a thing that you should say out loud and be fine with, right? Like this is an opportunity for you to finally see someone who's not like you and learn to empathize with them as a human being because they're being ideally, hopefully, fingers crossed, presented as a human being. And other people kind of are forced into that learning because all of their stories that taught them empathy featured people who weren't like them. So they had to learn early.
Yes.
Whereas for you, all of your stories that were meant to teach you empathy only taught you to be empathetic for people who were just like you. And so you never got over the othering. So this is a great opportunity for you to be like, oh, wait, turns out that I can have something in common with a person who is not the same set of things as me. What? You mean we all have similar struggles? This is crazy. This is news to me. I'm going to call my friend. Hey, did you know that actually some other people are human beings too? It's right. Yeah. It's wild.
When it comes to storytelling things, you often get people who really care about the split of organic versus, like, is it a story with, say, queer people, or is it a story about queer people? And sometimes that second category can be off-putting because you think you know what sort of story you are going to get out of that. And that is frustrating because just when these things were, 20 years ago, I want to say, in their infancy in mainstream media, that was true. If you had gay people, you could probably tell where the story was going to go for those people. And being able, we need to be able to make stories that are about different groups of people and really shove loads of different stories into that so that you can see the huge wide range of stories that can go into these things while also being about gay people, other sorts of queer people, anything like that. Like one of our Christmas rooms was pretty explicitly about being trans. And yet, I don't think that if you try to guess without knowing what that story is doing, I don't think you're going to guess.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be predicted the way you think so.
And
I think these things can be explored, and you can do things that are about being a part of a specific group, and it's not shoving it in your face.
Yes, exactly. And I think sometimes, look, some people complain about certain types of representation being inauthentic because it can be, right?
Oh, it
the idea of
definitely
just like,
can.
oh, I'm just going to throw a person and they're going to be, let me roll a die. Oh, there you go. This one
I
is
have-
Polynesian. You're like,
As
yeah,
the
but you
most-
just sort of just said that.
The
and it's
most
kind of
baby
weird.
form of that is that I have asthma. Not once have I seen my type of asthma depicted.
True. And, so that can be annoying and it can be kind of tokenistic. And it can be sometimes people can go the other way and like the point of their story is just to include that character. And then when you kind of go like, well, okay, but what story are you going to tell? And they're like, I don't need a story. I've got representation. I put these people in. Isn't that good? And if you don't like it, you must hate that. It's like, no, that's fine. That's cool. That's great. It's good that they're in there. But you then forgot to like tell a story about the humans, and you're also not really treating them as humans. You're kind of treating them as
And
objects to place in.
And
Be
that's
like, look
why
at this, everybody.
we need to get more skilled writers in the space and doing
Yeah.
these things so that people can tell the difference, because it does suck when you are trying to be part of a group. And, it's writing. Some people are going to do writing better. Some
Yeah.
people are going to do it poorly. And it's frustrating when art entirely regarding an issue will get discarded because one person wrote it clumsily.
Like escape rooms.
Exactly.
You want other people to be good so that the thing gets better. You want people to do representation well so that people don't look at the idea of
But
representation.
you also want it to be done enough that people can differentiate between sometimes it's done well and sometimes it's done badly, because people are
Yeah.
people and some people are good and some people suck at stuff.
Exactly. All right, I think that's enough ranting vaguely about a topic. Cool. All right, where are we at for time? We're coming up to an hour, I think.
Okay, couple more.
We can do a couple more. These ones are from D.
Mhm.
Danny,
Mhm.
question for you. Which of your rooms are you most proud of?
Ooh, that's interesting.
Clock's clicking, Danny.
That's definitely difficult. I think that, again, because I focus so much more on stories than puzzles, I tend to enjoy what I've done with the connected arcs
Yes.
more than any like individual piece of it. I like being able to put a story together, and
Mm.
especially if there was something I wasn't 100% sure of at the beginning, but then I've realized, oh no, wait, I can actually tie all of these things together. I think Descent of the Culledons as a whole, even though there are some actual like individual room things, there's a lot of clunk. It was early enough that there's a lot that could be done better, I'm sure.
What about your what Alice found? I think you did some really fun stuff, especially with the last, like the last couple of rooms of Alice Found, where you did some
Similar.
really interesting twists and turns and stuff with the story that I thought came out really well.
Pretty similar.
We've
I
had
think.
people recently on our Discord who have been going back and re-listening to some of these old ones, or listening the first time to some of these older arcs, and they've been sort of commenting on it, and people have been really liking what Alice Found. I think there's some really fun stuff there.
That's nice. I think like, if I were to go with one of my arcs that I feel, oh yep, this one feels like the most solid and feel like I would do the least to change things up and fix it. Escape Roompa Loompa.
Yeah, that's true.
Sure, it's only 5 episodes, I think, and I think that it connects kind of nicely.
Good. Yeah, it's hard. Again, and then the question for both of us is, which solve are you most proud of? I have no idea. I've got no real pride about they're all fun. They're all really fun and lovely. I don't think there's any moment that I can think of like, oh yeah, remember when I did that really cool thing in terms of a really happy
Yeah,
solve?
every time we do a podcast this escape, this is the question that we ask afterwards, and apparently we need to because I don't remember now.
We've done so many of these.
So many.
It's really hard to think of like, here's one puzzle that we solved really well. Honestly, tell you my proudest solve. First time that you and I did a full cryptic crossword.
Aww.
Because that felt like one that required some real build up and learning and slow and like this is unrelated to escape rooms, but like cryptic crosswords, you need to find someone to teach you first. And we were taught by my next door neighbor, who appeared in Children of My Cyrus in the Small, Medium at Large. Lucy taught us how to do cryptic crosswords. Taught us the basics of how to get into them. Sitting at the table of my family home one day, which we'll always be very appreciative of. You need someone to help you get in. And then we sort of spent a long time never quite finishing a cryptic crossword, being like, okay, we got part of this. Now let's look at the answers. Let's try and backform solutions. And the first time we got one with like no hints, no
Pretty special.
no needing to look at any of the answers, just got them all. I think that was a really proud moment of like, good, we can do this. We can officially do this, and we've worked for it, and we've kind of learned. And that felt really good. I think even then, it would have been like a Lovitz crossword, which is fairly easy. I think they're probably the most easily accessible, easy cryptic crosswords. We had a whole book of them, but it's just a really good feeling. And I think that was, from terms of puzzle solving, something that we had built up to them. Maybe also like the first time we did a puzzle hunt puzzle in its entirety.
Ooh, yeah, that would have felt pretty good.
Those I've felt proud about because they feel like an achievement rather than engaging with something enjoyable that's meant to make you solve it and really fun. These felt a little bit more like, I don't mind if you don't solve me. I'm a puzzle. Deal with it. I think pride-wise, those are probably the big ones.
That's fair.
All right. Last question.
Ooh, last one.
Well, maybe last. You know what? The next two we can do really, really quickly.
All right. A different D. Is there a way I can donate to you on Patreon but opt out of the pool for having one's name used as a character?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Just
100%.
Send us a message saying, hey, I'd like to opt out of this.
Yeah. Anybody who signs up on the Patreon could appear as an NPC, but they don't have to. So if you ever sign up for our Patreon, please do. It's how we support the show.
Some people prefer to say, we've had people say, hey, can you use my daughter's name? Can you use my partner's name? Can you use my cat's name?
Some people have also specified like, hey, if you use my name, could it be for Solve This Murder, not Escape This Podcast? Or could it be for Escape This Podcast, not Solve?
Could it be this pseudonym?
Yeah,
anything.
So whatever you want. If you want to sign up and then just send us a little message through Patreon that says, hey, I'm here to support you.
We would
Please
never
don't use my
say,
name.
no, we don't want your support without your name being given to a character.
We want your support. So
that would be a wild stance to take.
You can sign up to the Patreon to get all of the benefits, all the rewards, all the fun videos and things like that. You do not need to have your name used. We also make sure, like, some people use a pseudonym as their username, but we can tell what their real name is because we can see their email address.
Oh,
we would never use
we
would never use the name that's in the email. We use the name that is that they have signed up with.
Yeah.
Which leads to silly things like Shadowy Corner and things like that. But no, you can always just send a message, and what we would do is we'll make a note on your profile on our Patreon, and we will write a note that stays there for us to see, which is like, do not use this name. So if we ever pick it and think, oh, let's use that name, the moment that we do that, we add a note saying that we've used your name, and when we see that, we're like, oh, wait, it says here, don't use my name. So let's not do it.
Yeah.
So of course you can, and we would hugely appreciate the support. We would hate for worry about having your name put out in public to be a reason that you do not support us on Patreon. Please support us. We need the support. Please give us money. We need it. But yeah, no worries at all. That's very easy to do. And yeah, you can sign up for all the other benefits. This is probably an easy way to transition out of the episode by saying, hey, you can sign up. But there's one last question that we'll get through very quickly.
That feels like it's going, that feels like we put it there deliberately if we end on it.
I know, but isn't that kind of fun? All right, next question from Kay.
Oh, a repeat.
Can you tell us the full story of how you two met from both sides?
We did that one.
See previous episodes.
Yay.
Please see previous episodes.
From there, I do feel like, looking at the next couple of questions that show up, they feel like they're a little bit bigger again. They don't feel very wrap-uppy. They feel like they'll be a good
100%.
start to next
so
week.
We'll get onto those next week.
And then next week we have to get through all of the rest.
We're going to next week, the episode might be 4 hours long.
It might be.
But that's what's going to happen. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you all for hanging out with us. Again, now, what I will say is, looking at the dates for next season, we've got a little bit more of an understanding of exactly when next season is going to start. There will be a special episode that will, I think, actually not appear on this podcast player. I'll put something out to talk about it, but there should ideally be a special episode, if everything goes to plan, on the 30th, on the end of July.
Mm-hmm.
And then the first real episode for
shiny new room
for the new season will come out on the 6th of August. And it then should be an 11-episode season running us to the end of the year.
All the way to the new year.
Classic length of a season. But there'll be a special little bonus, ideally, if I can make it happen, on the 30th. So we'll keep an eye out for that. And then one more, So therefore there's one more of these AMA episodes next week. And then we get
Hope you're not too bored of them.
If it's completely boring,
I did not think we would get this many questions.
You shouldn't have asked us so many questions, but it's been a nice way to do a bit of a break between seasons. So thank you, everybody who's sending in questions. There is a chance we are into the stage where we will not get to every single question. We've been doing this.
I suppose we'll just, if that happens, if it gets dire, I suppose we'll put them in storage and come back to them next holidays.
I think if that happens, we might answer them not publicly. I might respond on the Discord to a bunch of the questions, maybe email back people who send us emails.
That's not the same.
It's not quite the same.
A chatty response on a podcast isn't the same.
But maybe
as
we'll
a
have a 4-hour
sincere
episode
email
next
response.
week. So
yeah,
we'll find
exactly. We'll see what happens.
out. Okay. Or maybe we'll do one extra week, do a 5-part one as part of the announcement of the special episode that
That's
won't be a
also fair.
podcast on the 30th.
That could
So
happen
there could
too.
be an extra episode
yeah.
of Ask Me Anything. All right. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you for sending in questions. We'll see you again next week with more questions and answers, and soon with a new season. All right. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.